Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Real Talk, Real Tips. Today, we are here with Lacey Swope from News 9. Super excited. This is going to be an awesome episode. We're just going to kind of be talking all things fishing,
Sure.
your fishing background, history, just different things. We're just going to chat today.
Awesome.
So to start us off, do you mind telling us just a little bit about yourself
Sure.
and how you got interested in meteorology?
So I got interested in meteorology because of my love for the outdoors. So it actually ties in hand. So I grew up in a teeny tiny town, Kiefer, but growing up we had property in Slick. So I kind of grew up both places, Kiefer and Slick, both towns that most people who live in Oklahoma have never even heard of. But I grew up just doing small town things. And so my dad hunted growing up, and my mom and dad actually tournament fished together, starting in the late 70s and 80s. So they've always been into fishing nonstop. And then when my brother, who's older than me, came along, my dad would take him hunting. And then eventually I was like, hey, I want to go. And so they would take me. So that's kind of how I got into the outdoors, which led to my whole career in meteorology. Because we'd be out on the lakes. My dad would be pre-fishing all the time for tournaments. He did like the Monday night jackpot on Keystone Lake, things like that. And when my mom wasn't tournament fishing with him, he had other partners, but then he'd have to lug us kids around when he was pre-fishing a lot. And so we would be out on the lakes all the time. And when you're out there, you notice things about the weather. I mean, the weather dictates everything you're doing, whether it's how you dress going out, it would dictate what ramp he would put the boat in on based on the wind direction, things like that. My dad's also kind of a weather freak, kind of like me. If you're around any meteorologists or weather people, we all kind of have, we call it a bug.
Right.
If you're kind of ate up with it and it's all you think about and talk about, it's kind of weird. And it's very, I don't know, it's something that we all have. My dad has that. Now, he didn't go to school for it, but he's one of those people that would notice everything in the sky. So while we'd be out on the boat, he's pointing out everything, if something changes or wind direction, temperature, whatever, things that you normally notice.
Right.
We also have a lengthy library. Like you have these shelves over here full of VHS tapes where he would record the weathermen talking about the weather.
Okay.
So he's just one of those that's always very apparent and plugged into weather. So keep that in mind. So we're out on the boat. We didn't have phones. You don't have things like that back in those ancient days. Or out in the tree stand. And what you talk about is the weather and what you're seeing. And then you would notice, hey, the sun comes up and it got colder. Why, when the sun rises, did the temperature just drop? These are all little things that you'd pick up on, or I would pick up on. And there would be frost developing the second the sun came up. Why does the frost develop then? Once you have solar radiation, it's kind of counterintuitive. So I had all these things, not to mention severe weather. The house I grew up in was hit before I was born. It was hit when my parents lived in it, but by a tornado. And so it's just always been kind of outdoors and weather have been my life.
Yeah.
I actually went to the University of Oklahoma, and I didn't declare my degree in meteorology until like midway through my freshman year, because I thought I wanted to go into the health field. I really did.
Yeah.
I thought I wanted to go into something medical related until I took a class called Orientation to Health Careers. And they bring in every single type of field they offer at OU. And I was like, nope. Every week I was like, nope, no way. Can't do that. And I was like, what am I doing? Like, I love science. I love math. I want to go into something in that field. The National Weather Center in Norman was being built my freshman year. And so they said, my advisor was like, I really think this would be cool. You should check this out. And I fell in love with it. I was like, yes, absolutely. I can combine my love for the outdoors, my love for the atmosphere, science, physics, all my math, all my passions into one. And so it was just a natural fit. And I hit the ground running. I never wanted to go into TV though.
Really?
TV was not my thing. No, not until my senior year. It was not my deal.
It's crazy. You're just so good at it. You would never guess.
Oh, well, thank you. I'll show you some of those first tapes. I have beta tapes of me, interning at News 9 that are under lock and key.
That's funny. Like I said, that's how I feel every time I get on here. So I understand. Not
years and years of practice.
Live, which makes it probably a lot more difficult.
But also live, you're not worrying about it because there's no takebacks.
That's true.
Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, well, that's true. This we can edit out, which is great.
Perfect.
But so you kind of told us how you got into fishing.
Yeah.
Was that all bass fishing? Were there multiple species you fish for?
Yeah.
What's kind of your favorite?
Oh my gosh. So growing up, we did a whole lot more bass fishing than anything. Or at least that was always the trips I wanted to go on. My parents did a lot of crappie fishing. My mom has a newspaper clipping from, I think it's like the late 70s, of her holding this massive, 2-pound crappie. Might have been 2.5 pounds. It was a massive crappie. And so they've always been huge crappie fishermen too. But bass was always my thing. I don't like the whole sitting in the bobber or sitting in one spot anchored up or tied to a bridge or a tree. I mean, I love it now, but as a kid, I liked going down the banks, constantly moving, constantly
A
throwing.
little too like
Yeah.
ADD for all that.
Yes. I
I
want to be
understand.
casting constantly moving. And yeah, not sit and wait. I love to sit and wait now. But that was always my favorite. So bass fishing for sure. They did a lot of, other things, but spoonbill, things like that. But whenever I was a kid, it was strictly bass fishing and spent a lot of time, day and night, a lot of night fishing for bass.
Do you have a favorite lure? Like if you're heading out to the lake, heading to
Yeah.
a local pond, what's your like go-to?
Sassy shad, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. And what was crazy is I learned to hook them upside down, which I was always made fun of when I was a kid. So they kind of look dead, but for some reason that works. So I'm telling you, sassy shad. I don't care how much of a weight you need, something to sink it a little bit,
Yeah.
and cast that sucker. Now top water, I like a hula popper. I mean, I've caught my biggest fish ever on a lizard. I don't know. So I don't care what it is. Soft plastics, top water. I don't know. I like to switch it up too. I'm not one of those people.
Right.
Now the fishing trend of the day is like you have one lure, you take one lure and you fish with it all day.
It seems like these guys, have you seen the urchins? Like
These ball things?
the dice baits or the urchins, all the bass fishermen are obsessed with those.
And they catch fish. I've watched them do
Tons
it.
of them.
I just watched last week a guy fish. I was laying in bed watching a guy on my phone fish with one of those things.
I don't like here in Oklahoma, I have a buddy that uses one now all the time and it's his like go-to pond lure. I'm like, there's nothing in the pond that mimics that. And like I don't understand fish.
I watch too many commercials. You know what I mean? I'm sold on if you tell me it works, it works. And so I have a tackle box that's massive and I have every color of everything and I switch it constantly. This whole trend of like I'm gonna put this one thing on and fish with it all day. I mean, it works for people, but I don't like it. No.
I'm kind of the same way. I think I'm gonna go fish with the bait 10, 15 minutes, hit a couple different target areas, and if I'm not catching something, I'm gonna switch it up.
Absolutely.
I kind of on the same page as you, where a lot of folks now are getting in, throwing one bait all day long.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if it's not working,
that's your problem.
We got to change something.
I'm always like, hey, these people that are fishing and they'll find one big, huge fish.
Right.
They'll throw a bait at it twice and then leave that fish. If I know there's a fish underneath me, a 7-pounder, 6-pounder, whatever, I will fish that thing all day.
Well, that's a completely that's a whole other rabbit hole.
It's an off-topic topic. Yeah. But no, I'm all about switching it up, switching baits, and I spend way too much money on that. Mm-hmm.
That's funny. So when you go out, are you running live scope? Are you running?
We have live scope. My husband and I have live scope.
Okay.
I love it. I'm terrible at it. I mean, you learn really quickly when you get it.
Right.
There's all the controversy, and I get it, but there's a lot of skill behind it. Yeah. There is a lot of skill behind it. Definitely. I mean, being able to use live scope to track down a fish and follow it, play the wind, and do all the things you've got to do to actually stay with a fish.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we can't do that. We can't. But I mean, for crappie, it's amazing to try to go find crappie and to be able to see them. But even then, it makes it more frustrating for me because I'll throw everything I've got in my boat, everything but the kitchen sink at it, and then watch those fish just swim on by.
Right.
I'd rather not know they're there.
Yeah, that does make it a little hurt your ego.
Yeah.
Just slightly when you can see the fish, be like, oh, no.
Or they'll follow it. They'll follow it and you're like, oh, here we go. It's just a constant letdown in my world, but I love it. I come back for it.
That's funny. Do you have a favorite local lake, local pond to go to here in the metro area or maybe beyond the metro?
Listen, I love Arcadia because it's close and I love that it's accessible. And I've not ventured out on many of the lakes in central Oklahoma. Just growing up on the lakes in the eastern side of the state, that's where I usually go because I know them better. I have places, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Picked out. But I try Arcadia a lot. If someone knows how to fish on Arcadia,
hey, hit a girl up. Share the tips.
Sure. I have been all around that lake so many times.
Right.
We just load the kids up and go, and we'll spend hours. And I've got some places that I'm like, okay, this should be good, but I've yet to go to Arcadia and be like, that was a good day. That's not happened yet. But I love my favorite lake, to answer your question, is Dripping Springs Lake in Okmulgee County. So that's just where I grew up, was going there the most. And the reason for that is, one, it used to be a huge trophy bass lake. I think it still is. I mean, I think there's still some big fish in there. Yeah. I've caught my biggest fish ever there. But also there's not a lot of playing on the lake. So if you go there to just fish, it's quiet.
Right.
And I find that now that I work downtown, I can't wait to get away from downtown. The second that I have a chance, and I feel like that's where it calls me all the time. It's my favorite place to go.
That's
It's
awesome.
quiet. You can almost always catch something,
Mhm.
regardless of what. You can find something, and yeah, it's relaxing.
That's awesome. Yeah, we have a previous video of you, I think with your brother and your husband
Yes.
at that lake,
Yeah.
catching
Hmm. Yeah. Darren
pretty
and
good
Blake went.
fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, so you told us you caught your biggest fish there.
Yes.
What is your PB? I
Listen,
think the
9
viewers wanna know.
pounds, 6 ounces,
That's
large amount
impressive.
on that lake.
That's
Which nowadays, I mean, the fish are much, much bigger. That was in 2000. I was in college. That was in 2008.
Mhm.
And we were night fishing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember what lure you were using?
I have a bullfrog baby brush hog. I mounted
Of course,
the
you
amount of the
remember
fish,
the exact.
and I have the lure
Oh,
with it.
there you go.
Yeah. And not caught much of anything else on that bait ever since. But
Mhm.
yeah, bullfrog, baby brush hog, and yeah, night fishing. I thought I was hung up. I truly did. We were just trolling along, had the black lights out. My mom it was with my mom, my dad, my husband, and me all on the boat. My mom was asleep in the bottom of the boat. And I was like sitting there, just like nodding off. And I was like, Dad, I'm hung up. And he's like, No, you're not. I'm like, Yeah, I'm hung up. I'm hung up. He's like, Sissy. He's like, Sissy, it's a fish. And once I realized it was a fish, the fight was on.
That's
But I mean,
awesome.
I remember every second of that. Seriously. It was one of the best memories ever.
That's awesome. Well, that was kind of my next question, but was that your most memorable fishing trip, or have there been others
Yeah.
that?
Now that I have kids, it changes.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like I remember every second of that one, but now taking my kids, their fish are like my absolute favorite stories. So
Really?
it changes. Yeah. My daughter's 6. Well, yeah, she's 6. My son just turned 4. Now he's a very action-packed, like if he's not catching something or doing something,
Done. Out of it.
out of it. Like I just I'll put a bait on his and let him, I don't know, piddle around the boat. She will sit there. My daughter Brooklyn will sit there and she will catch. She's like me. She likes to be moving and she'll go all day. She has a blast. We got really good on the hybrid one year
Yeah.
with her, and that was so fun. And so watching her catch these massive hybrid for her, and reel them in, super fun. Anything action packed with them because they get so excited.
Yeah.
It makes it so much more fun. I think those are now my favorite. I don't even care if I even cast. I just like
Right.
taking them and watching what they do.
It is, I would say, like for me personally, it is more fun to watch someone
Yeah.
catch a fish or catch their first fish than it
Yes.
is for me to do it
Yeah.
at this point.
I know, it's crazy.
Like,
I don't know when that switch happened, but it
the
happens.
right, like I have a 4-year-old nephew, and I
Aw.
love taking that kid fishing, and just like seeing him reeling a fish and get all happy
Yeah.
is like the most joy you could ever
They
feel.
lose their mind. Like, and that's the thing. It's like such pure innocent joy, and you don't
Right.
see that a lot. And you don't see that when they're playing video games or they're watching their movies. So when you can get them out and watch them do that, yeah, it's the absolute best.
It is definitely a blessing.
Hmm.
So let's kind of jump back into your job a little bit
Okay.
because that is so interesting.
Oh, thank you.
Are there any weather patterns that you might look for when you are like, I want to go fish soon.
Sure.
Let me check the weather for this week. How are you going to pick what day you want to go fishing?
I get this question a lot. And I think because I hunt and I grew up hunting too,
Mhm.
and fishing. So people think that, oh, if you're a meteorologist, then you must really know,
Right,
what these patterns are. And I have been, a professional meteorologist for 15 years, and I've hunted and fished every second that I'm not working. And nothing that people don't already know. I don't.
Right.
There's no like when this happens, this happens. I wish I was that good. I wish I had something figured out, but that's what makes it fun. These are
Yeah.
wild animals. These are, these fish they're patterned kind of, but they aren't perfect. There's so many other factors. Obviously before a storm is usually the best. If I can go before a storm or before a cold front, right after it rains or right after a storm comes through. Now that doesn't stop me from going, but I feel like it's not as good. You're not going to find anything schooled up as well. Things don't bite as well. Things that work the day before a storm do not work after usually. But now with my schedule being as crazy as it is and being a mom of 2 kids, if I get a chance to go, I don't care. Rain or shine or what it is, I'm just going to go. And I'll just figure it out when I get there. I wish I had an answer to that made it. I would write a book on it. I'd have a lot of money. If I had like these secrets by being able to forecast the weather and also forecast patterns.
Right.
But I just don't. And it's the same way with hunting. If I get a chance to go, I'm going to go. And if that means that I don't see anything, so be it.
Yeah. No, it's honestly more about just being out,
Yeah.
spending time away, like you said, rather than, actually catching stuff.
I think if I was going to pattern something that is almost a guarantee, growing up, we would go to Dripping Springs Lake and fish with cane poles
Okay.
for catfish, okay, for channel cat. And that pattern, now I've not done it much outside of this pattern, which again is why I have no idea. I may be full of crap. Don't listen to me and try this. But in the summertime, usually in August, close to a full moon, now this is just the pattern that's been passed down to me from like my dad and then his whoever, close to oh shoot, I don't know if it's a full moon or a new moon. I'm horrible with this. He's gonna kill me too.
That's okay.
Either way, full or new moon, there's a moon out there.
Right.
In the summertime, go and at night, we take grasshoppers, put them on just a bare hook that floats on top of the water, sits on top of the water with cane pole. It's weird, I know, but it works.
Really?
And you can run those poles all night long. And there'll be the second you get done and go to the next pole, there'll be a channel cat on it. And so we load up on catfish doing that. And they swear by that pattern that clearly I don't even know very well. That's probably the only pattern that I know of.
I wonder if it would be a full moon because like the reflection of
Maybe.
the grasshopper.
That may be. Full moon sounds right.
That would sound a little
yeah, I'm going to be
disappointed. You can just tell one of the viewers to try it out. And
just go full moon, new moon. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know how it goes in the comments. We'll figure it out somehow.
Text my dad real quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, which one of you figured it out for us?
Right.
How has fishing impacted your life overall? Just from the aspect of, when you were a daughter fishing, when you were a mom fishing, and just as a woman, how has that kind of impacted you?
Oh my gosh, fishing has just been a part of me as long as I can remember. I mean, little bitty kid growing up, pond fishing to being on the boat. And that was some of my absolute favorite memories growing up was being, especially whenever my dad would take me by myself, just the two of us. Love the rest of my family, but it makes you feel so special when you get to go do that, and then being cheered on, and you learn so much about yourself. You learn patience. You know what I mean? You learn to be calm and still. You learn to just be quiet and to listen. And I think it instills such awesome values and even just morals in you. Nature teaches you so much. And the joy that I would have making memories with my dad or my entire family, my mom and I have been on some fishing trips and caught some very nice fish. So much fun. It's literally just a part of me. I don't know what I would do with all my time. So much of my life has been spent on a boat or on a bank fishing. And then growing up, my husband and I met my husband when I was 16, we've been together ever since. And we would go on these big, long fishing trips together. He would check me out of school, actually, out of high school. We'd go on fishing trips. It's just been what we've done. And then the same thing, as a mom, there's no way my daughter and my son weren't going to go because that's what we go do.
Right.
I don't know. I can't even picture myself without it. It's just something that is my happy place. A lot of people, when they try to pick, what's their favorite thing from deer hunting to turkey hunting to duck hunting and all of that. And I've always said mine is bass fishing, which sounds crazy because other things are so much more action-packed potentially. Yeah. But man, there's something that just keeps me coming back, especially after catching a 9-pound bass, which I know there's bigger ones than that. But that's a big fish. That was big fish for me at the time.
Yeah.
And never caught anything close to that again. But it's just knowing they're out there. They're out there, and what can I do to possibly outsmart them and to switch it up? And I don't know, it keeps me coming back constantly.
That's awesome. How about as just a female in the sport?
Yeah. I think we talked about this even way back when. I didn't know it was weird and different, I guess, to be a female in the sport because my mom did it. And I didn't realize how unique that was. And that's just what I grew up doing. And now I think there's so much more. I know so many other females that are into the outdoors and into fishing and things like that. And I think it's becoming much more common. But I don't think you're limited or have a leg up one way or another. You know what I mean? I don't feel like because I'm a female, I'm limited, and because we can all learn the same things. And then I don't feel like there's something that I bring to the table that's better. I think it's an equal playing field when it comes to going out and fishing. I just think the knowledge isn't there. Right. It's not necessarily passed down, from dad to daughter like it is dad to son as much. And hopefully that's changing. Yeah, I think through programs like this and so much that you guys do, I think that's changing.
Dads, husbands, use this as your sign to take your wives and daughters fishing.
Yeah.
It
It changed my life.
is our responsibility to raise and assist the next generation
Yeah.
of anglers.
Absolutely.
One of my favorite things to see on Facebook or Instagram now is these girls coming up in the high school
Oh
circuits
my God, it's amazing.
fishing, and it
Yes.
is like I love to see it.
Right.
And especially when they're winning and they're
Right.
beating all these
Dominating.
guys, and it is just gives you goosebumps
It
watching these
does.
girls just crush it.
Right, it's so cool, and there's no reason not to. That's the
Right.
thing. I mean, they can hold the pole, they can cast and do all the
Yeah.
things. It's just having the knowledge, and a lot of times it's just because someone was afraid to teach them. They just
Yeah.
assume that girls won't be interested, or you just assume they won't wanna go out all day. And I mean, there's tons of girls that are different, but there's tons of guys that are different that don't wanna go out
Mhm.
and sit all day and do that too. But I mean, they don't know what they're missing unless you show them,
Right.
and make it a good time. And it doesn't have to be that you're catching tons of fish.
Mhm.
I mean, as a kid, I loved bass fishing. You don't catch a lot of fish when you're out bass fishing.
Right.
A lot of times it's not like crappie or something that's schooled up. I mean, and it's action packed,
Right.
but when it is, it's amazing.
I think on top of that, don't be the person that goes out and it's like, "Hey, you gotta be quiet. The fish are not gonna
Okay.
bite if you're quiet."
A lie. Yeah.
No, I sit in my boat with my buddies and we have a speaker going
Yeah.
and we catch fish.
Yes.
Like,
Bring the snacks. I'm all about the snacks
yeah,
too.
make it enjoyable
Right.
for the person that's with you. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of times I feel like we tend to get this kind of almost selfish attitude about it
Yeah.
of like, "Oh, well, I'm going, I have to drag my kid on." Look at that as an opportunity to teach and mentor
Yeah.
rather than, "Oh, this
Yeah.
is now
The
a
freedom of it.
hassle." Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Because once you get down to their level and you bring in the excitement, it makes it exciting for
Right.
you, finding ways to make it exciting for them and to
Yeah.
teach them. And I'm telling you, when you take a kid or somebody who's just never been away from the hustle and bustle of the city. I mean, it's
Yeah.
fascinating to take adults even
Right.
who've only ever been around the noise. When you take people who've been around the noise only into the quiet and the things they notice, things that if you go all the time, you forget about, you don't
Mhm.
notice the sights, the sounds, the smells. I mean, people who've not been around it much will bring that out and you're like, oh yeah, that's why I love it. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
And
it's
kids are the
incredible.
best at that. Kids are the absolute best at that because kids
It's
will
awesome.
things that you won't even pick up on at all. You're like, "Oh, man, that bird was really cool. That was really
Right.
cool that that bird just came and swam by and did that," or even just the turtles. I'm out there fishing, I'm not paying attention, but sit there and notice the little things,
For
and the
sure.
joy that that brings, I'm telling you, it's amazing.
It is. It is. Even, I don't know, like you said, the small things can make such a big difference in
Yeah,
a fishing trip.
they do.
Um, or you occasionally, get lucky and catch that big
Right.
fish. I was running jug lines 2 weeks ago, and we're most of the fish we're catching are probably 14 to 18 inches. Channels and blues, and
Sure.
then all of a sudden we go to grab one noodle, and shoomp, under the water it goes,
Nice.
and you're just like, oh
Now it's
yeah,
on.
the adrenaline gets
Right.
going, and turns out you got a 27-pound flathead on the end of your
Yeah.
jug line.
See, it's
And it's
amazing.
like one fish can
Change everything.
change the momentum of the entire trip.
Or just, I mean, getting a fish up close and losing it. I mean, just the little
Right.
things that happen that
Yeah.
I don't know, are the things you remember. And it's definitely that way, that way with kids because I mean, catching the fish is awesome, but it's the ones they miss. It's the backlash, it's the getting hung up, all the little things that happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's all making memories.
Right.
It's real fun when you've got two kids and one's hung up in the motor and one's hung up on it's something all the time.
All the time.
Something all the time, but I don't know. It's amazing. Yeah, take the kids and take your friends. Take I mean, your wives, your girlfriends, whatever,
Mhm.
and then just make it fun. I think we try to make it where it's like, "Oh, then you gotta rough it." It's gotta be gotta go out here and you're gonna go a long time without going to the bathroom. It's gonna be you can't drink anything. You can't I mean, just make it
Yeah.
adaptable. Find out a way to do it that it makes it comfortable, and then people will learn to rough it. You learn like, "Hey, you know what? I probably can go a little longer. Hey, I don't have to have all these luxuries that I thought I
Right.
had to have." But if people don't have any experience with it, they put it over in a category of something that they just don't like and don't wanna do. And I think the first time they go with somebody who's a good teacher, they're hooked for life.
Yeah. So you definitely think it's better to start them off easy and kind of mosey them into the hard rather than
That's
just
what I've
being
had to do
like,
with some.
"Hey, you're gonna learn to swim, and I'm gonna throw you in the deep end."
Yeah, I've not had much luck doing it that way because people they just don't have fun,
Yeah.
Make it enjoyable. Start small. Don't go on the all day fishing trips.
Right.
And here's what's crazy. I talked about my brother. I didn't even mention I have a sister. The closest person in my life is my sister, but we're exact opposites. She will not go. She will not go
Really?
sit all day. If I can tell her like, hey, we'll go and we're gone for a couple of hours, she'll go. But yeah, everybody's just got a different tolerance level.
Yeah, definitely. What are some other ways that women and kids locally can get more involved in fishing?
There's so many great programs. I think you guys have so many great programs that are out there. There's so many area lakes, ponds, just docks that you can go out on, start small. But I can promise you, you know somebody in your life who has access
Right.
to the information of where to go and what to do. Ask. Don't be afraid to ask. And I think a lot of times, you know, you kind of have to humble yourself of what you don't know. There's so much I don't know. I am not an expert in any way. I love learning from other people of their tips and tricks, but I'm willing to try. I'm willing
Yeah,
to try just about
definitely.
anything. I think just be willing to try. Be willing to try something different. Shoot, you can always reach out to me. I mean, I'm not an
Yeah.
expert, but I can kind of tell you what you kind of need to get started
Right.
and where to go. A lot of people don't have boats. Oh my gosh, Oklahoma is set up to where you don't have to
So
have a
much
boat.
access.
Yeah, there's so much access to where you absolutely don't have to have a boat. I mean, that's just a different layer to it.
Right. That is one of the things we've really been trying to push lately is just how much bank access there
Yeah.
is. Um, I I don't want to get this wrong, but I'm almost positive that we have more shoreline on our area lakes than the East and Gulf Coast combined.
I've heard this. I've
Um,
never
Someone
measured it,
might
but it
have to
sounds
fact
right.
check me, but
Because Eufaula is like the biggest, right? As far as the bank goes,
I think so. It'd be like Eufaula or Texoma, maybe.
maybe. Yeah.
Um,
That's all access to water where
right.
fish are,
Well,
where you
even
could stay in there and
locally,
fish. Yeah.
we've got Lake Thunderbird, Stanley Draper,
hmm
and the bank access is incredible. The fishing there is incredible.
Yeah.
Like I caught that 27-pound flathead out of Lake Thunderbird.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So a 20-minute drive from Oklahoma City
They're all right
downtown.
here. Right here. Right here is local. And yeah, you can you can just stop in any of the bait shops. I mean, any of the
Right.
people who love the outdoors love to talk about it.
Exactly.
And so ask the question of, hey, here's what
Yes.
I'm kind of thinking I want to do. How do I get out there? What do I need to get started?
Right.
And just go try something new.
Yeah. There are so many barriers to fishing and hunting.
Yeah.
And I think the only thing that you can do as a beginner is break down each barrier one at a time. Whether that's okay, I'm gonna step into a tackle shop. I have no idea what I'm doing,
Right.
but I'm gonna go just walk
You'll
around.
meet the
and
nicest people.
see. Right. And they will teach, and like you said, people who love the outdoors love to teach about it.
Yeah.
And it is just incredible the community that you'll find within the outdoor world.
Absolutely. And then the memories you'll make. Because the most fun is when you're learning. I mean,
Right.
that's the thing about fishing is any mistakes that you make or anything that you do that goes wrong, you remember those and you get better from it. I mean, you're constantly learning, hey, that didn't work, so now I'm going to try this. And it's just like anything in life. I mean, the more you do it, the more you kind of fine tune your skill.
Yeah.
But you're also going after a wild animal, and so there's always that factor to it.
Yeah. It makes
not
it
predictable.
exciting, right? That's
Yes.
awesome. Okay, so final question.
Uh-huh.
Not even fishing related.
Okay.
But we're gonna try to give our viewers a little something.
Okay.
What is something that you've learned about meteorology that you would say 90% of the world doesn't know?
I think how much we don't know.
Yeah.
I really do. I think when I think about meteorology and what people want from a meteorologist ultimately is it going to rain at my house? You know what I mean? Is it going to rain at my house? I have this fishing trip. Is it going to rain? If I have and while we can give you broad things, there is so much to the science that we do not know. The science is so young. It is, I mean, in the scale of time and as compared to other sciences, our data really only goes back to like the 1950s. That's reliable.
Really?
And so when you look at computer modeling and all the advances in technology, while it's getting better, and we've come leaps and bounds, you know, in the last, 75 years, that's not very much time.
Yeah.
So there is so much we just don't understand and we don't know. And so whenever you're looking at the forecast, it's amazing that we can get as precise as we do. But that's also what keeps me coming back because you're constantly learning new things about the atmosphere. There are new discoveries every single day. And if you think about it, when you're talking about the atmosphere, you're not just talking about what's happening right here on the surface. We're talking every layer all the way up throughout the entire troposphere. And then you're talking every square inch along the entire globe, and everything that happens over the ocean impacts us. What happens here impacts the other side of the globe. We need instruments all over the place in order to have sensors to know what's going on, and we just don't. Our sensors and our instrumentation is very limited, and in fact, it's worse than it was. We no longer have as many radio sondes and soundings, the balloons that go up. That's actually been cut back. So, yeah, there's just a lot we don't know, and I go into it understanding that, but when you talk to other people, it's like, how did you not tell me exactly how much rain? How come you were off by a half of an inch?
Right.
How come you forecasted 4 inches of snow and we got 1? And I'm like, that's actually really good.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
I think that's what people probably don't understand.
Yeah. No, that's so cool. I mean, I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah.
You would think with the advances in technology,
Right.
same with fishing. Like we've had so many fishing advances in technology, like the live scope and
Yeah.
side scan and all these other things.
And I still go out there and watch my bait and watch them not eat it.
Right. So you could kind of compare
You're still
the two,
against
I think.
nature. Yes.
You're up against unpredictable,
Yeah.
unknown, and you've just got to do your best, right?
Yeah. And don't let my fishing give you any idea of how good I am at forecasting the weather, because they are not comparable.
Would you say, okay, final question. Would you say you're better at fishing or forecasting?
Forecasting, for sure.
You think so?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fishing's hard.
I'm much better at pattern recognition of the atmosphere than I am whether it comes to hunting at all, anything in the outdoors, and especially fishing.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
But I'm going to try.
Well, Lacey, thank you so much for coming on
Thanks
today.
for having me.
This has been a blast. I've had so much fun.
Yeah. Thank you.
Guys, if you don't know, you typically attend all kinds of events around Oklahoma City in the outdoor space. So whether it's deer hunting conferences, fishing conferences, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just an opportunity to go and learn, interact with people. I know all of us locals appreciate your passion for the outdoors.
Well, thank you.
And
I can teach you what not to do, if nothing else.
Oh, don't say that. You are just an inspiration to tons of people all over the state.
Well, thank you.
And we're just super thankful you were able to come on today.
Happy to do it anytime.
But that is going to bring us to the end of today's episode. Thanks for watching, and be sure to hit the bell, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.